I was just at the World Cup match between Spain and Belgium thanks to a viewer from this channel. It's insane. YouTube has just really changed my life, but this video is not about that. Anyway, spoiler alert, did not go well for Belgium, but it went well for me because I took my Leica M11-P to the game and I got some really cool photos, really just documenting the experience. Now look, I've always tried to be really responsive, especially if you reach out like in DMs or whatever. So I got this DM saying, hey Dave, I work for FIFA. Would you like to go to a game? I thought it was a total just like joke, someone being mean. That happens on YouTube sometimes. But it turned out to be legit. And whenever I got a couple of tickets to the match down at SoFi Stadium in LA, I asked my friend Benj if he wanted to come along. So I drove down from the Bay Area, Benj flew down from Seattle, and then the next morning we got up and we headed to the stadium. After posting a photo with the camera at the World Cup, so many people asked me, did they let you just walk in with that? And yeah, basically they let me just walk right in because the M11 with the 35 Summilux, which is the lens that I brought to the game, is under the maximum size that they allow into the game. So this camera did not exceed the 4-inch rule for the lens and 10 centimeters for the kit here. So I had no problem walking in with this camera, and if you end up going to a match yourself, maybe not even this World Cup because this one's coming to an end, but maybe a future game, this camera and cameras like it, you'll probably have no problem just walking right in with. Now I brought the 35 Summilux because it's my all-time favorite lens, and I'm not going to this game to shoot like an athletic event, like, you know, from the sidelines, like the guys with the big long lenses. I'm there shooting it like I would like a documentary. I'm shooting it to capture my experience, but also to try to like tell the story of the day. So as we got to the stadium area and we got to walk through the fan experience and then get into the stadium itself, I was really just picking up on a few observations that I thought would tell the story of the day. So I went in with some assumptions about what the storyline for the day was going to be. I figured there'd be a lot of high energy. I figured there'd be a lot of fun outfits and, you know, people dressed up for the game. I figured there'd be big crowds and a lot of energy. And I figured there'd be a lot of really exciting moments, but I also just wanted to like take it all in and let the story show itself to me as I was there. So as I got my camera out and I'm walking around, there were like 3 things that I noticed that I felt like really captured the experience of being at a World Cup match. The first thing was just how multi-generational this event was. You have aging fathers who love soccer or football, it's called by its real name. You have aging fathers that brought their adult kids and those kids brought their kids as well. This is a sport loved by generations upon generations of people all over the world. So you actually had a lot of generations represented at the World Cup. There were people there with their toddlers and babies, with their parents and grandparents. Entire family units attended this game together. And I thought that was something really special and unique to that experience. A second thing that I noticed might be uniquely American, but I'll just put it out there and you can tell me if you agree in the comments. Since America is this giant melting pot and we all have ancestral origins in other places, most Americans claim like at least a dual identity, like you're American, but you're also whatever country your ancestors may be from. Like for me, my mom's side of the family is from Rome, Italy. So if you ask me like what I am, I might tell you I'm half Italian. I don't really know what the other half is, but anyway, there's a lot of love for our ancestral origins in the US, and that was fully on display in SoFi Stadium. More than just even fans of the teams or the players themselves, a lot of people were there because they identify with Spain, they identify with Belgium. And there's something kind of special about that kind of energy at a sporting event like this. And speaking of that good energy, another thing that stood out to me was just how positive the atmosphere was. Like I go to 49ers games and, you know, sometimes we're playing teams that we really just don't like. And there's not a lot of positive energy at those games. It's very much a rivalry, anger even from the people around you as they're shouting stuff down. There was one guy at this World Cup match who would get angry at the ref and stand up and card the ref. I thought that was hilarious, by the way. This dude literally carried his own yellow cards and red cards and would throw them up if the ref made a bad call. But I was sitting in a section with both Spain and Belgium support all around me, and people were overall just having a great time. They would cheer when their team would get the ball, and they wouldn't sulk and be super negative if things just weren't going their way. Another thing I noticed is just how ridiculously overpriced everything at that stadium was. I mean, $22 for a beer. $22 for a beer. That is insane. Still did it, but it was still insane. I did a ton of hip shooting, which if you don't know what that is, you're zone focused. You just got the camera kind of like mid-chest and just firing off things as people walk by. That's like a way to purely capture the moment because nobody's really paying attention to you and you get a lot of authenticity in times like that. I was changing up the zone between 1 and 3 meters, just somewhere in there, and just walking through the crowds and just seeing what I saw and just trying to fire off things that I thought looked interesting. At times too, I would just pull the camera up to my eye to get these special moments. Like this one family had brought a trumpet and they were all grouped together. And when I lifted the camera to my eye, one of the family members looked over at me and I just loved this shot. So part of being a good storyteller as a photographer is getting diverse images that really speak to like the collective experience, not just like this one thing. So if I walked around all day just hip shooting and everything was 1 meter away, I'll have a lot of interesting photos, but that doesn't tell a complete story. To get that complete story, it meant finding different vantage points. Like Benj and I, we climbed to the very top of SoFi Stadium, which was quite a feat because that last section, you have to walk up the stairs. No escalator, nothing like that. You're climbing. But once I got up there, I was able to get photos of the crowd below me at the FIFA store, as well as getting food and just capture kind of like the flow of people because the flow of people was part of the story of the day. Anytime I had an opportunity to get a photo that was kind of like architectural to SoFi Stadium or had like interesting light at certain angles or like show the grandness of the event, I tried to do that as well. You know, on the surface, photos like this, they don't really like have a lot of like detailed story in them, but they give you context for the story that's unfolding. Hey, real quick, you still there? You listening? Awesome, cool. If you are watching and you are not a subscriber, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel. We talk about a lot of great things here, but more than anything, it's really all about community building and the creative process, not all about the gear, but about how we think about our photography. And I hope today's video is resonating with you from that perspective. And if it is, be sure to get subscribed. And then of course that moment comes where we get to our seats and they begin the whole processional into the match. The 35 was simply too tight to get all of that. But the photos that I got, they represented my vantage point. This is where like, I'm not really telling the story of the stadium anymore. I'm telling my story as well. This is my view of the game. One thing that I was able to do though was because this camera has 60 megapixels, I'm able to crop in pretty tight and get some really cool closer shots of the action while it's happening. Now look, this is a personal experience. Like I'm not there working, I'm just there to have fun. And for that reason, I legitimately was trying to take the game in. You know, I'm not trying to take photos the entire time, like constantly have the camera up to my eye or just firing shots off. I was there to enjoy the game. So occasionally I'd pull the camera up and get a few photos of the game, of the action. One thing I did that was very different, I've never done before, was I put the Leica M11 into burst mode, which, you know, if you compare that to like other systems that have burst modes, it's not much of a burst mode, but it was still pretty cool to be able to like fire off a sequence of photos as something was happening. I was actually able to get Spain's winning goal by shooting burst mode as the action was unfolding on that end of the field. As things would unfold, you know, people pull out their phones and they're capturing the game. And then when something happens, people would throw up their arms and celebrate. And that was a ton of fun to capture as well. And that's part of the story of the World Cup. Now, spoiler alert, Spain did win. And right in front of me was a Spain fan and a Belgium fan that were friends with each other. And I didn't realize until the game had won that they must have made some type of wager over who would win. Because as the celebrations began in the stadium, the fan of the Belgium team had to pay up his friend. And I thought that was a really cool moment, just to see this happening and pull the camera up really quick and grab that shot. So all in all, this was a really fun experience. And by the end of the game, the camera was done. I think it may have been a combination of the heat, the burst mode, and also not charging it the night after the meetup we had. Probably should have charged it, but whatever. The battery got me through the game, but it died the second the game ended. So as we were walking out, I just pulled out my phone and I used the Very Good Camera app, which is in beta. You can download it right at the link below. And I snapped off a few more photos of the event as we were leaving. So all in all, I don't know if I'll ever get to go to another quarterfinal World Cup match. I don't know if in my life it'll ever be this close to home ever again. It was a very, very special experience, and I'm really glad that I got to bring my Leica M11 and my all-time favorite lens over to the game and capture what it was like to experience the World Cup. I hope you enjoyed all the photos that you saw today, and I would love to hear from you, so drop a comment below and let me know what you think. If you like the storytelling aspect of this and you want to come to a workshop about storytelling, again, we've been talking about this QR code in the links below. We're going to add those to the list. So thank you all so much for being here, for watching today, and as always, I'll see you next time.